Right now we are in a place known as Seme Koker, sub-county of Seme, Kisumu County, and I'm in a farm. As we all know, this is a project, or this is a program where we always bring to you some of the things we do in our farms and what is known as smart agriculture. I'm going to speak to one of the individuals of this homestead, that is Kennedy Ojwang, and actually we are going to talk about so many things. And this is KDR TV in partnership with Sky FM YouTube channel. Stay tuned for the whole segment of this program. Actually, today we are talking about production of dairy cattle. We all know that production of dairy cattle is something that many believe that it's something that is very expensive, or something that we cannot afford, or all of us cannot afford it. We are going to talk to him, and he'll tell us more about the production of dairy cattle and how, so far, how has he been surviving with the production he's doing. Actually, he has a number of them here, some of them producing milk, some of them not yet, but all of that he'll be telling us. Karibu, Mr. Kennedy.
Yes, thank you, Evans. So far I have 8 cattle, 8 dairy cows, and in this program I have Ayrshire and I have Jersey. So in this area, Frisian does not do very well. So I'm doing Ayrshire and Jersey. The reason why I've mixed Ayrshire and Jersey, you'll find Jersey, the butter fat content is high. So because I do value addition, I also do mala and make yogurt. So from that is why I've decided to do Jersey. Jersey because the butter fat content is high. So it helps me in making mala and all this and yogurt. So it has challenges, yes, but so far the project has gone well and it is good. Actually, speaking about the production of different kinds, what are the challenges you've been experiencing apart from any other, before we go into any other detail? The greatest challenge is ECF, and also we also had ECF, this is East Coast fever. You know, you will have to like spray every 7 days to maintain your stock, because if you don't do that, you'll lose the stock. Apart from that, there's this one called, there's another one. There are a lot of diseases, but the main one that makes one lose a stock is ECF. And I've fallen a victim when I was starting. I've lost like 3 because of that. So far I'm following the routine, doing spraying every 7 days and doing hygiene the correct way, and the correct feeding and the deworming, and also check up by the vet, and then I'm just set to go. When was this, or at what point did you start the production of dairy cattle? So as I was doing my youth service, I trained on, we were in a big farm for the government, and I got the skills from there. So out of there I came and got the interest in engaging into dairy production, and so far I came and started in 2019 when I'd gotten out of National Youth Service, NYS. And how many cattle can you say you started with, or you began with? I started with 1. With 1? Yeah, so far, not losing those 3, I would be having 11. But unfortunately, I lost 3. What was the cost of 1, if I may ask? The cost of 1 was 100K. 100,000. I've placed quite some money, but then whatever it is I say, out of the production, on daily basis, I get, from the Ayrshire, I get 18 liters. From the Jersey, I get 15 liters. So that is a total of 33 liters. 33 liters. So a liter at this place is 70 shillings. So you can do the calculation and find the cost. What can we say the dairy cattle are feeding on, or what do you feed them? Oh, I feed them on, you know, I've got a land here. So in the land, you must leave the cows to also free range. But then before they go out, they'll have to be, I have bracharia grass, and I also have napier. So in the morning, early morning, we must feed them on bracharia mixed with napier. They feed on that till they're satisfied, and then they can now go free ranging as they eat. When they come back in the evening, they'll also find the chopped grass there again, so that they also feed on it. So I feed them on bracharia grass and napier.
Okay.
Yeah, and also they're also free range.
And on the part of their reproduction, how do they reproduce, or do you find a bull somewhere, or you have a bull inside?
I use the vets.
The vets.
To do artificial insemination.
Okay.
So it's a bit expensive because at times you go repeating, but then as a farmer, you need not to like lose hope. So you keep doing it. Like for now, there's one of the heifers that was produced in this farm. It's now 7 months in calf. And really, when I see that, I really get encouraged and get enlightened and encouraged to move on so far. Yeah. So I rely on AI, artificial insemination.
And or at what point do you do AI? At what age can you say that now my cattle or my
the heifers?
My heifer is now fit for the AI.
On the 18th month, the heifer is calved down. After it has been calved down, the mom will be served 45 days after calving down. Any day you see the sign, from 45 days after calving down, you serve the mom. And then the heifer itself needs to get to 18 months plus. And then you'll have to skip like the first heat, the second heat, and then you will serve it on the third heat. But then it must have attained 18 months plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, as we all know, at some point when you are producing, what do you use in milking?
So far in our farm, we just use hands.
Hands.
I dislike the machines, but then so far the farm is still young, and then we are just using manpower.
A part of breastfeeding of the calves.
Once the calf is calved down, I become the mom. I take the calf after the mom has licked the calf, and then the calf is now steady.
Yeah.
What I do the first 2 hours, the first 1 hour, after it has licked the calf, I milk the colostrum and give the calf. So I'll be giving the calf that colostrum until the colostrum ends. So the calf should not have ties or bond with the mom. So I become the mom. I bred them till they become heifers. Okay. So I just feed them on milk. And
is there any effect on the calf side?
No, not really. If you can see there's one heifer there that is in calf, and I just did the normal routine. It didn't. I was just giving it milk from day 1 till now, till the 6th month, and then I leave it to now get into grass.
Okay, thank you. And you talked about napier grass. Do you produce napier grass or you buy them?
Personally, I produce to reduce the cost of production. If you buy, the cost of production will go high, and then your profit margin will narrow. So I produce it personally. I produce Bracari, I also produce napier grass, and this one helps in reducing the cost of production.
You've talked about yogurt. Do you produce them from inside, or there's somewhere else you take the milk for the production? So far now, we do mala so far. And then I produce it at my farm, and it is bought at the farm gate, mala. And then for yogurt, I'm still using somebody else to help me in preparing. But then the mala I prepare from my farm, with no additives. At what point do you do the checkups, and at what time do you realize that this one is now sick, you need to treat them? So
in my farm, before I was using other vets, but then till now I've narrowed to one vet. It's a private vet, and he's been helping me a lot in terms of advices and checkup. So every month I'll have to bring the vet. He knows the date, comes and just checks all the cows every month. Every month? We do that, yes. So you don't wait until one is sick? It's just we've agreed on at a fee that he comes every month and checks the cows. And again, what are some of the things that you've put in place to ensure that your cows are safe from any other external attacks? Yeah, that is the same reason we've built this zero grazing unit. So this unit is built of stones. So that at least no intruder can come in. So this is a sense of security also, so that they don't sleep outside, they sleep in the zero grazing unit, surrounded by the stones. We have piped water here that we use. We don't use any other water. It is salty. Salty water is good for nutrition part of the cows. So we use the salty water in allowing them to drink that. And then the feeds, we make sure the person handling the feeds is someone who is trained. So he'll have to ensure correct hygiene and all that, and chop the feeds in small pieces.
Talking
Yes.
about having someone who is trained, do you have someone or
Yes,
you do
I
it
have
alone?
one who is trained.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
On
the
taking care of the dairy.
he's the only person handling the issue of feeding
They're
them.
true, and they change in terms of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
pay them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you are an employer as,
Yeah,
as
I'm an
well.
employer, I'm an
Okay.
employer, yes.
I need to be employed one day so that I can also learn, because
Okay.
in the process of doing these things daily, at least someone might learn. And on the part of the water, or the water you give them, you've
Yes.
talked about it has to be salty a little bit, or it's salty is for the benefit of the
Nutrition
cows.
part of it.
Yeah. Now, is there anything that you can say, or any disease that you can say has come from the water and has affected your cows so far?
Thank you for that. In fact, there's a time we had not piped water. We were using water from the riverside, so it used to come with all whatever the flukes and all that, and it affected one of my cows in eating up the lungs and all that. Because I was not deworming when I was starting. So that is why, in case you use any, it's better to use the best water that is clean. Clean water will help the cows become healthy and all that, because health is water. Water is health. So we need to give them clean water.
And the piped water,
Yes.
does it come from a borehole somewhere?
Yeah.
Have you dug a borehole?
Yeah, it comes from a bowl, but far. So we are being
far
piped.
from this place?
Yeah, we are being piped.
Okay.
We are being it's being piped for us. We are trying to engage farmers, young youths, to get into farming.
Yeah.
And then farming, when you want to grow, you have to start from something small.
Yeah.
So I started by rearing birds, poultry. You start by 10, 20, 30, you go to 100, 200 to 500. So when you sell that, let's say 100 one bird, averagely you sell at 600, and you've sold like 100 birds. That is close to how much? 60K.
100 times
100 birds. Each goes at 600. That is 60,000.
60,000.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you do like 200 birds, that is 120.
120,000.
In that simple manner, you will be in a position
Yeah.
to get one in-calf cow that when it comes to the farm, in like 2 or 3 months, it will have calved down. And then in like 2 or 3 months, you will have gotten, you'll be having two cows in the farm.
Yeah.
And then if you do AI to these two, you'll be having four. So the
cows.
farm will grow from that. You need not to buy like many of them. You buy one, and then from that one, you multiply more.
Someone once told me that it's always better to buy a calf or to buy a cow that is fully grown than buying a calf. How true is that?
The first calving might affect, the heifers, they've never calved down. So maybe they might have a problem and you might lose the cow maybe. But then if you are a new farmer, but then if you are somebody who's been in the business for some time, you'll be in a position to know how to handle such cases. But then in such a scenario where we advise farmers to take in-calf cows, but second calving, so that at least you'll be in a position to not to have many challenges during calving down. And then the advantage of taking an in-calf cow, when it gets to the farm, in like 2 or 3 months, you'll be having like two cows. So you'll be having an added advantage. Instead of going to buy 2 cows, which would be expensive, you go and buy an in-calf one. And then it gets to the farm, you get like 2.
How frequent do you sell your milk from the farm?
Thank you. My milk is sold frequently on daily basis.
On daily basis.
On daily basis, every time from 6 a.m. to 7, I do sales of milk.
The reason I'm asking that is I was coming to the next question, where at what point do you milk your cows? Are they milked like twice a day, 3 days a day? How frequent do you do it?
Thank you. In our farm, we milk twice. The first one is at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then the second one is at 4 a.m. in the evening.
4 a.m. in the morning. So you always
I wake up at 3.
that early?
I wake up at 3 on daily basis.
Okay, for the milking part.
For preparation, you have to chop them to engage other guys and also me to chop the meals. And then after that, while they're eating, you milk. Then at 4, you are ready to milk now. So I have to wake up at 3.
I'm with Kennedy Ojwang, who is a farmer. He understands the issue, or every aspect of farming. He is involved in so many things.
From the cows, we have slurry there, of which it is tapped the other side. And then we also have cow dung. So that cow dung is, if you can correlate, the other side we were having production of vermiculture. And then there I also have a compost pit where I can decompose the cow dung. So we collect the cow dung, take them to the pit. Some portion we take to the vermiculture structure, of which the worms, the red worms, help in decomposing to get the cast, which I said was the best in production of seeds, as a DAP also, as a biofertilizer. And also we also have the decomposition pit, where we take them to get decomposed. So that one we sell the cast, we also sell manure which has been decomposed. So that is also an advantage of the cow also. We do per sack, or we can do per ton. 1 ton we can do at 6,000.
6,000. Now, at what point do you sell the manure?
Manure after it has decomposed. There's a process we follow, and then after like a month, or after like 3 to 4 months, we harvest it. So after we harvest that one, we now in a position to also use it in, because I'm also a farmer, I also use it in my farm, and also I can also sell to other parties.
And before I forget, is there any feed that you buy from outside apart from the ones you plant inside?
I'm trying to reduce on the expenditure part so that I reduce the cost of production. That is why I've planted grass there, and the only thing I'm doing is the salt.
The salt.
I'm buying the salt to help in supplying the cows with the nutrients and all that, whatever it is they lack, calcium and all that. But then I'm trying to use the available resources that are around me to avoid narrowing the profit margin.
Until now, you began the farming or the production of dairy cattle. Is there any point that you can say you regretted at some point for starting?
It's okay. There are challenges, but then I can't say I've regretted. This is one of the best projects ever, and it can be done by any youth. Because at first, well, I'm not going to NYS, I was like, I didn't know anything about it and I was fearing it. But then after engaging in National Youth Service, now coming and starting my own farm here, I've gotten that it's one of the best things all our youths can engage in, because it is not that expensive. I've also explained to you how you can be in a position to solicit funds instead to buy one. Through production of birds, you do like 50 birds, you save, and you continue doing that. Like if you do 200 birds, you are in a position to buy 1 cow. And
can we say that government has done enough into the farming sector, or has chipped in helping the farmers?
I'm really grateful, and through this far I've benefited from a project known as ASDSP, which is Agriculture Sector Development Program, which was under coordinator Madam Phoebe Odhiambo, which started it national coordinator in Nairobi, and it has rolled to all these counties in Kenya. And that through ASDSP I got some skills into production of poultry and also other value chains. But then I benefited from poultry through SDSP. And then from there, the SBSP linked me to Practical Action, the t-shirt I'm putting on. Practical Action has gone with us miles, and through Practical Action I'll be able to be certified as a TOT, who is certified to also train other youths on production, on agriculture related activities, and also on Youth Learning and Saving Association.
So we can say you feel that the government has done
felt the
enough.
Government, and I'm really grateful to the government through project of ASDSP under the stewardship of Madam Phoebe Odhiambo, the national coordinator. To
each and every youth outside there who might be willing to get into farming, and maybe they don't have enough land, as they usually say, so many people, I've met a lot of people that say, tuna shamba, we don't have enough tracts of land to do that. What is your advice to them?
You know, dairy you can do it extensively, and you can do semi-extensive, semi-intensive, intensively or semi-intensive. But then I'm doing semi-intensively because I have the land here to allow the cows to free range. But then you can also do zero grazing, which is intensive, of which you will have to have all the things ready, all the feeds ready, available for the cows. But then I would just advise all youths to try and engage in this. In case you have a land, you can, because you know, dairy production, you cannot do it without land. It needs land. It's no shortcut about that, because the dairies have to also free range. Because the same intensive part, I see it as an advantage, because the cows also gets release stress and also engage the muscles a lot.
Okay, talking about your market, where does your market come from basically?
I saw demand and I went for that low-lying fruit. You know, you as a business person or as a farmer, young farmer, you have to see an opportunity and grab it. So I saw the demand of milk and I grabbed it as a low-lying fruit. And I grabbed it as an opportunity, and I'm now venturing into that. There's market of milk, there's a market of manure. I say I do it as a full-time job, but then I also have some part-time jobs. Like as a TOT, I also engage in training other youths. I also engage in training other youths in Seme and in Kisumu County. So I go around training other youths to get involved into agriculture business.
Do you feel you can get employed at some point?
I can get employed, but part-time. I can get employed. Because already I've employed other people here, and I've also instilled skills in them. So there are chances of me even getting employed at another farm as an advisor there, or to advise on whatever it is needs to be done there. So, you know, if I'm employed in that farm, I will not be doing it as a full-time job. I will be doing it as a part-time job also. So other part-time jobs I have all over, because I'm a TOT. I also get engaged in other NGOs, and I'm also engaged with the county government in advising and training other youths as a TOT.
That basically means that even if you get employed, the deeper part of your mind will be lying in your farm. So you'll be doing the other job as a part-time job. Thank you so much for that, Kennedy. I was speaking to Kennedy Ojwang, who is from Seme in Seme, Kisumu County, and we were talking about the production of dairy cattle. We've had much talks, and we've narrowed down to everything, or each and every aspect of this production.